don't think y'all realize, but tonight's gonna be hot. Hey Candace, how are you? Hey Peggy, hey Naomi, hey Nora, I'm doing well. Hey Shirley, man, tonight's gonna be hot. Hey Nicole, hey Alicia, man, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. Hey Valerie, hey Naomi again. Listen, I got a lot of inboxes about this single thing. I have fun with talking about why some women who are habitually single are single. But now, hey, welcome back finally, Nicole. Hey, Alexis. But now I got so many inboxes about, talk more about why people who are single might be single. So we're going to touch on that a little bit more tonight. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Alexis, Brittany. But I just want you to understand that when I talk about being single, I'm not talking about people like, you're not worth it or anything like that. I'm just sharing insight. And certainly some of the things that I say, it's not going to fit everybody. And it's not designed to fit everybody. These are just some things that, if you are suffering with, it may be something to really, really consider. Hey, Olivia. Let's give a little bit more time because tonight's topic, it's serious. And listen, like I said before, when I get these inboxes, I'll talk and I'll ask questions and I want to get an understanding of what's happening. And then I ask permission to share it because there are other people, who may learn from this, who may get something from it. And I promise you, tonight's is really, really powerful. Hey, Erica. A little bit more time, just a little bit more time. You know what? Let's get into it. Let's talk about this single thing. Now, again, here's my disclaimer. What I'm going to talk about right now, it doesn't apply to everybody. Not everybody's going to suffer with the same thing or have the same reasons. And these are just things that I've come to experience, and I'm just sharing them. If it relates to you, hopefully you'll get something out of it. If it doesn't, don't think I'm trying to, cast aspersions because that's not what this is about. Talking about reasons why men and women might be single. I have 2 reasons for the men. I have 2 reasons for the women. Ladies, you are first. Okay. Ladies, you go into the relationship with you go into the relationship with a me attitude as opposed to a we attitude. We is the purpose of the relationship. Now the me part of it looks like this. The relationship, what's the old saying? Yeah, happy wife, happy life. If the woman ain't happy, the house ain't happy. So on and so forth. You've heard those types of things before. Ladies, I'm here to tell you that this is something that doesn't just apply to you. A happy woman doesn't always equate to a happy relationship. When 2 people are working towards building the relationship, when 2 people are focused on the relationship and not themselves, that's when you tend to get a productive relationship. Just to be more clear about it. Ladies, you should be expected to be treated well. Men should treat you well. Your husbands or your boyfriends or whatever, they should treat you well. They should treat you with respect. They should honor you, respect your opinion. And when they make decisions, it should be reflective of something that shows that. Okay? You have to do the same thing, though. You also have to give in the relationship. You just can't be the person that's on the receiving end of everything. It's nice to have a man that will, invest time in you and invest in gifts for you and treating you well. That's nice. It's nice for you to give that treatment as well. What makes it easy for a man to give to his woman is when she pours into that man. Now, I kind of touched on this before. I mean, pour words of encouragement or words of support and things like that. Knowing what your man's love language is. You know, we all talk about love languages, and everybody knows the different love language. Well, not everybody, but if you don't, you need to find out what your love language is. And you need to know what your mate's love language is, because when you understand that, ladies, you're able to give him exactly what he needs, and he should give it back to you in return. And when he does give it back to you in return, it's a great relationship. Okay. That was for the ladies. Now, fellas, it's a little different for us. Give me a second. Look at my notes. All right, here we go. I'll start with this one. Man. Honestly, guys, you think you're missing out. You're single because you think the minute you settle down, you're going to miss out on the woman of your dreams, or that vixen, or whatever. You know, it's just like, it's that feeling that something else is coming, or there's another 5-star chick that I'm supposed to have, or whatever it is. Constantly focusing on what you don't have. Constantly looking for the next best thing. I'm here to tell you, men, that for a woman, when you make love to her emotionally, when you invest in her emotionally, when you build a place that's a safe zone for her to be who she is, there is almost nothing she won't do to satisfy you emotionally, spiritually, physically. There's almost nothing she won't do, because you've provided the right type of atmosphere. You've fertilized and you've really cultivated the atmosphere for her love to grow and thrive. Women are multipliers. Everything that you give a woman, she will multiply. So if you give her the emotional support, if you give her the physical support, if you give her all of the things that she needs to be comfortable in who she is as a woman, it pays dividends so high, it gives you such a high return on that investment that you would be a fool to think another woman would give it to you so freely. Women just don't operate like that. I promise you, once you sow seeds of emotional wealth and health in a woman, there's virtually nothing she won't do to satisfy you, because she realizes, when I make this man happy, it comes right back to me in droves. So you can keep thinking that the next woman, or the next new piece of loving that you come across, is going to be that way forever. No, sir. You invest in a woman emotionally, it's just going to come back to you in many a positive way. So that's one tip for the fellas. That if you're not able to do that, fellas, that might be why you're single, because a good woman ain't gonna stick in there too long, because she knows her value, and she knows that she can go somewhere else and find the right type of man for her. Whew. All right, ladies. Now look, I am not cutting y'all slack tonight. I'm about to give you this next one, and I really want you to understand that I love y'all. I ain't bitter, I ain't mad, but this is just keeping it real with you 100%. Ladies, you want to be heard, and you want your opinion to be respected in a relationship, but you don't want to listen. You don't want to give that same level of respect to the man, and you really don't value the man's opinion as much as you expect your opinion to be valued and respected. This is what I mean. You can have a man that says, I don't like something. I don't like whatever. I'm just going to pick this. I don't like broccoli. And you constantly cook broccoli. And you're so dismissive of what he says. He could say that to you, and you're like, well, broccoli's good for you. You need to eat it. As opposed to understanding that this man just told you he doesn't like broccoli, and you still cooking broccoli. So, flip it around. You go to this man and you say, look, I don't like steak. And if he cooks steak for you, you're going to let him have it. I already told you I don't like steak. You're already cooking steak, and you're just going to really, really give it to him, and you're going to say this thing. You know, you've heard it before. You might have even said it before. You never listen to me. Ladies, you want to be heard, but too many times you don't want to listen. Your opinion in your mind, your opinion is paramount. I'm here to tell you that if you are really, really investing in your relationship, you have definitely got to listen to your man. It could be nonverbal, and you got to listen to that. It could be verbal. You got to listen to that. It could be something real soft, real subtle, and you got to listen to it. Ladies, if you truly are the most introspective of the two, if you are if you have the insight, for your man and in the relationship, if you can see things that your man can't see and understand and comprehend things that your man may not comprehend about a situation or a person or any scenario, you also have to be able to do that when it comes to the way he communicates with you. Again, ladies, if you want to be understood, but you don't want to listen, if you want to be heard, but you don't want to listen, that might be why you're single. Because, again, the good man, he ain't going to put up with that too much. He'll sit there and say, all right, you ain't listening to me. Somebody else will. All right. Fellas ain't cutting you no slack either. I mean, we all got to work on this together, and I'm not mad at my brothers. I'm just saying this is something that we have to do to hold up our end of the bargain. And men, we are still living with our mothers. Now, I don't mean physically living with our mothers. I mean, we are still living with our mothers emotionally, and we refuse to establish our own emotional house. I love my mother to death. Love her to death. And I will fight you over my mother. Test me. There was a point, though, where I had to leave my mother's physical house and my father's physical house and establish my own emotional house. My emotional house is where I build my emotional foundation for my relationship. Now, I think my mother can cook. I love my mother's cooking. I would never tell my significant other or my wife that, hey, you don't cook this like my mama. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to enjoy it on its own merits. I'm not going to sit there and say, well, my mama used to do this. No, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to acknowledge what my woman is doing and build that woman up. Men, you have to get out of your mother's emotional house. Your mother is there to raise you from a child to an adult. At that point, you have to take the emotional wheel. And when you take the emotional wheel, men, what happens is you become more attractive to women, to grown women. Now, you can be an attractive individual, and an attractive individual can attract people initially. But once you get past that physical, men, what we do is we lock women in with our strength, with our conviction, and really just our strength of character. And the only way you can have strong character is if you have gotten out of your mother's and even your father's emotional house, and you have built your own emotional house where that woman can join that house. You two can partner and build a solid relationship, a relationship that's solid emotionally. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Nikki, and it's the granddad, and you have to say the granddad. All right, so again, men and women, I'm not saying any of this to you because I'm bitter. I'm not saying any of this to you because I'm laying fault or blame or this is the only reason why people are single. I'm just saying that this might be some insight to some of the things that you struggle with. And if you are struggling with some of these things, then I hope this has been helpful. Okay, now, I got a serious topic for you. And I took notes, and when I tell you that this conversation was one of the most in-depth conversations I've had with one of my inboxes, that it just really left me floored. Let me give you the scenario. I had to take these notes and write it down. All right, here we go. I dated a guy for about 2 years. I thought we would get married, so I co-signed on a car loan with him. His credit was decent, but my credit lowered the down payment and the monthly payment. We broke up a few months ago, and he does not want the car anymore. I don't want my credit to go bad. What should I do? Now, I'm going to read this one more time. She signed or co-signed on a car with a person who could actually buy the car by themselves, but this lowered the monthly payment and it lowered the down payment requirement because her credit was stronger. Now, probably on the loan, she has the number one category. So she is the person who's actually on the hook they're both liable. But when you're in the number one position, the loan was granted based on your credit. You have the strongest credit. In talking to her, I was very, very direct with her. I asked her, why would you sign on this car with someone you're not married to? She said that I really believed in my heart that we were going to get married. We had talked about it. We had conversations about this, that, and the other. He's a great guy. He met my mother and father and met the family, and I just knew we were going to get married. We were talking about getting a place together, all this stuff, talking about it. And I had to tell her, first of all, men don't talk about it. Men do it. I guarantee you that he showed you how bad he wanted that car. And this is me talking to her now. I guarantee you that he did all the stuff that he needed to do to get that car. And I guarantee you that he was very compelling and very persuasive when it came to getting that car. And you bought it. You and this man were boyfriend and girlfriend, not engaged, not even living together. Not that I'm saying you should have lived together. What I'm saying is you had no real commitment other than the fantasy of boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, please understand me. When I say fantasy of boyfriend and girlfriend, I don't mean that disrespectfully. What I do believe is that we've taken boyfriend and girlfriend and elevated it way too high. Boyfriend and girlfriend is great. The goal isn't boyfriend and girlfriend. The goal is to get married. Because now you are actually stuck with this car. You got one or two choices. You can keep paying for that car and keep it. Or you can bite the bullet and tell him you have to take responsibility for this car and let it go, whether it goes bad or not. But you are on the hook for this car. There is no way out of it, short of filing for bankruptcy. And if you're looking to protect your credit, bankruptcy may not be bad. You know, that might work for you in the short term, but it's going to damage you for the next 7 years or so. So the harsh reality of it is you gave your boyfriend husband treatment, and he didn't deserve it. Only a husband deserves husband treatment. And as bad as I feel for you, you know, that part is going to be hard. This is a great question. Talisha just asked, can he refinance it on his own? I didn't consider that. Talk to him about that, because he may be able to refinance the vehicle on his own. But no, he said he didn't want the car. Did I read that part? Yeah. We broke up a few months ago, and he does not want the car. So Talisha, he doesn't want the car anymore. He just wants to say, hey, we breaking up, all that stuff, and you stuck with the car. Apparently, he doesn't care as much about his credit as this young lady does. So going back to my original statement, you're on the hook. You're on the hook. Now, if you don't pay for it and he doesn't pay for it, it's going to impact both of your credit scores. You have the most to lose, because you have the highest credit score. He has something to lose, but apparently he's made peace with it. It's no big deal to him. But for you, you take your credit a little more serious, and yes, it's a tough situation. So you're going to have to put on your grown woman pants and make a decision. Either I'm going to keep this car and I'm going to pay for this car, I'm going to let this car go, or, you know, I'm going to have another conversation with him to see if we can come to some type of understanding. But you gave a boyfriend husband treatment, and he does not deserve it, and he didn't deserve it. Ladies, last thing I'll say on this topic, I just need y'all to understand that men do what men do. If he could get the car on his own, quite frankly, you could have pushed back and said, hey, okay, you're actually qualified for this car. You should get the car. You know, you would have come out better financially giving him a gift to help lower his monthly payment, as opposed to being on the hook for the entire amount of the vehicle, the entire financed amount of the vehicle. So you just can't give a boyfriend husband treatment. And I guarantee you, if you had told him no, or you gave him a gift, or helped him with the down payment, he would have been happy with that. But until you are married, please, ladies, don't give men husband treatment until you're married. Oh, all right, I got a compromise for you. Until you get engaged. At least get engaged before you give him husband treatment. Because unfortunately, this is the worst case scenario. That prince turns into a frog. Instead of the frog turning into the prince, he went backwards on you. Everything was good. Y'all moving forward. Now all of a sudden money gets involved, car gets involved, and y'all break up, and you stuck holding the frog. Actually stuck holding the car. But you get my point. All right. That's a real tough scenario and situation for anybody to be in. I don't take pride, and I'm not making light of the conversation. That's serious. Business is business. Boyfriend or not, this is business, and this is your credit. And you have to. We all know in this day and age, you have got to protect your credit, and I really hope that works out. And I believe that it will. Okay, so I wanted to spotlight a couple, and this is another one of those couples that have just been together for a really long time. They've worked together through the ups and downs, and they made it work. Melvin Smith and Adonika Smith. I know them both from Morris Brown College, and I can tell you that as far as a couple that I personally seen just blossom into one of those power couples. Not that they go around bragging or flaunting this, that, and the other. When I say power couple, I mean a couple that is just strong and beautiful together. They have a beautiful family, spiritually in sync with each other, involved in the community, involved in the church, involved in their institution, alma mater, sorority and fraternity. On every level, there's this commitment that they have that is just inspiring. And so I'm proud to call them friends, and I'm proud to spotlight Melvin and Adonika Smith as my couple of the week, because they found a way to make it work. And making it work is what you do. You get together, you focus on the relationship, and you make it work. And I think they're a great example of that. All right, last thing I got. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I believe that's the 25th of March. From 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. on Instinct Radio, I will be doing my own radio show. The radio show is talking about community, it's talking about relationships, it's talking about entrepreneurship, and it does spotlight couples who found ways to make it work. I believe that in the end, there's no stronger force in our community than working couples. Couples making things happen. Couples sticking and staying together. Because when couples stay together, that just gives us the stability that we need in our communities. And we need it back. And when we get it back, when we get those stable couples back in our communities, then the community begins to heal itself. So I'm just really looking forward to getting on the radio. First of all, and showing out. Y'all have no idea how much I'm going to show out on the radio. But I'm also looking forward to just being instrumental in helping people understand the bigger picture. And the biggest picture of all is it's not even about me. It's about being a voice to help people come back together in our communities. And so that's what I'm looking for. Looking forward to do. We're going to be controversial too. I have some friends of mine, and I'm not going to reveal the topic yet, but when they come on the radio, it's going to be a conversation that a lot of people shy away from. I'm not scared of it because it's important that we have these tough conversations with each other, with every aspect of our community. Some of the couples that I'm going to bring in, they've been married 40 and 50 years. I got some 10-year, I got some 20-year, I got some 30-year, 40-year, and 50 years worth of marriage. These people will come in and talk about their relationships. Entrepreneurs. There's some entrepreneurs that started a business that have world-renowned celebrities come into their business, and they never advertised one time. Nothing on the radio, nothing on TV, just the strength of giving a good product and having sound word of mouth, organic growth. So when I tell you that I'm looking to deliver a quality product, first of all, but second of all, a product that you can take something from and grow and learn from. That's the whole goal, in my opinion, of being on the radio. It won't be about me. It'll be about us. And so I'm looking forward to that. Again, next Saturday, the 25th of March, from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. on Instinct Radio. I'm going to start promoting even harder in the next couple of days so that you'll get to see the information and you can lock it in. All right. Last thing. Today, my son decided to be a man. He said, hey, this is what I'm going to do with my life, and I'm going to step out, and I'm going to do it by myself. So I tell you, when your children finally decide to leave and move out, you have to sit back and say, I'm a little nervous, but I believe that I raised you to be a man. So you go out there and you do it. And that's what he decided to do. So the part of me that's protective is like, are you really ready for this? But then the part of me that says, yeah, he's ready for it because that's my son. And so, Nigel, I'm proud that you decided to do this on your own. We didn't have an argument or a fight or anything like that. You decided that this is the path that your life is going to take, and I support you. I got your back. So you need me, you know where I am. And looking forward to you making me proud, even more proud than I already am. That's all I got tonight, man. The topic next week, y'all kill me, is about sex again. Y'all some sex having folks on Facebook. Y'all be having sex. Every time I turn around, I get another inbox about sex. So we'll have some more sexual conversations next week. It's more, I can't say it's not as easy as it was last time. These are still some really pointed questions, and y'all want to know. Y'all want to know about sex. I'm just trying to figure out who told y'all I was an expert. All right. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all tuning in.